We are less than 1 week away from the 100,000 subscriber celebration. I don't know if I'm more excited about hitting 100,000 subscribers or the celebration that is coming after the 100,000 subscribers, because we have 3 vintage booster boxes. We've got Stormfront, we've got Team Rocket, and we've got Rising Rivals. And we are going to break all of these open for free. We're going to give away all the packs inside. We're going to do a 100 winner box break. 100 subscribers are going to win. It's going to be absolutely epic. The hits in every single pack are going to be sent off to CGC. They are going to get graded for free with a special commemorative logo at the top, just kind of remembering the occasion, the dannyphantump 100,000 subscriber celebration. It's going to be an absolute blast. I know there's like 108 packs in total, so the other 8 packs we'll just give away during the stream. The stream is going to take place next week, Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, and the link to get entered to win is in the description below. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and then click that link, enter your name, your email address, boom, you are entered, and then come back on Saturday, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna draw all the winners live. It's gonna be really enjoyable. You don't have to be there in order to win. I know people have work or they have busy schedules and things go on, so the replay will be on the channel. I'll email everybody after the stream is over, so that way if you did win, you'll at least have that email confirmation, but that way I can collect all of your mailing information. It'll probably take a couple weeks to get the cards back from CGC, and then I will send everything off, but tracking anything that you guys need, you can obviously keep in contact with me via email. It's going to be a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button down below, and then make sure you click the link in the description, so that way you can be entered to win. It's going to be such a blast. I'm very, very excited for that, and I'm also excited to talk to you about chillingreign today, because chillingreign has finally seemed to kind of level off a little bit. If you guys remember, so chillingreign has never really been considered to be a super popular set. That and Fusion Strike just didn't really do it for a lot of people. It was better than what a lot of people thought of Battle Styles. But chillingreign, Fusion Strike, a lot of complaints about pull rates and things like that. Same thing with Evolving Skies, but because of what was in Evolving Skies, people still got really excited to open it. The thing about chillingreign is, so you get average amounts of hit rates per booster box from like Sword and Shield all the way up to the Trainer Gallery sets, which started with Brilliant Stars. Every single set you're going to get somewhere between 7 and 8 hits per booster box. Sometimes you might get less, sometimes you might get more, but on average you're looking at about 7 to 8 hits. The difference with chillingreign and even Evolving Skies is the variance levels, because of the amount of ultra rares that you have the opportunity to pull. I know Fusion Strike was like the biggest set we've ever seen, but a lot of that is very loaded with commons, uncommons, rares, holographics, which are a little bit easier to pull. Chillingreign and Evolving Skies are actually the toughest sets to master, because they each have over 100 ultra rares that exist inside the set. Chillingreign actually sets the record with the most ultra rares that you need to pull in order to complete a master set, or you need to buy at least in order to complete a master set, and the variance just isn't there, so it's very difficult to be able to pull perfectly and have unique copies of every single ultra rare that you open, because you're going to get a lot of duplicates, a lot of triplicates. You might be chasing down that Blaziken VMAX secret alternate art, and you just keep pulling the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX alternate art instead, or you might be chasing down that Galarian Moltres V, and instead you keep pulling the Tornadus V, or the Blissey V, or the Rapidash V, or some other ultra rare that's in the set. Because there are so many of them, the variance just, it doesn't go in our favor. And really, during the stretch of October, November, somewhere around that point of 2022, just the Pokemon community was buzzing really about investing when it comes to Pokemon cards. There's a lot of content creators out there who are kind of pushing up alternate arts, pushing up Fusion Strike, pushing up chillingreign, because we were running into a situation where supply was extremely low on pretty much every booster box, and it still is very low, but because of this, a lot of people kind of transitioned over to some of those sets that were still available, like chillingreign and Fusion Strike, and because of this, a lot of content creators were like, see, don't sleep on chillingreign, don't sleep on Fusion Strike, these are going to blow up because availability isn't there. And then what happened was October hit, November hit, December hit, and all of a sudden we didn't get all these reprints that we were hoping for. Chillingreign ballooned, Fusion Strike ballooned, and a lot of alternate arts from various sets in general just started really climbing. But chillingreign seems to have finally settled down and seems to have finally backed off a little bit, and the booster box price right around MSRP, so haven't gotten to that point yet where it's really really kind of surpassed MSRP. I do think it's still available on the Pokemon Center website at MSRP, which is going to help keep this down as long as stock still exists. So if we look at the actual graphs and look at the actual charts, looking at the past year of data for Chilling Reign, you can see for the most part in 2022, very consistent, right around that $100 mark. In May of 2022, it was at a one-year low of $91.35. Kind of hit that again in October of 2022 before really starting to boom. You can see it jumped up to about $110 fairly quickly, and then in December, really just rapid growth right away, all the way up until March of 2023, where it hit that 146.07 one-year high, and now it's backed off a little bit over the past month and a half. It's sitting at 139.45, so just below MSRP, which is really good. But the contents of what you can pull, for the most part, a lot of them going in the opposite direction, which is a good time to start looking at Chilling Reign as a set, because the last thing you want to do is invest too much money or spend too much money on Pokemon cards. That causes a lot of burnout. So make sure when we're going through these things, you kind of keep your intelligence cap on, so that way you make the best decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars. Some of these might go down even further yet, which is really, really cool. Booster packs for Chilling Reign definitely on the rise, and this is very consistent, just growth as the supply starts to diminish in the market. You're not going to see a lot of Chilling Reign packs popping up at stores anymore. You're not going to see a lot of Chilling Reign packs in collection boxes or anything like that. I did see a couple of pictures kind of floating around online of restocks that happened at Best Buy or on bestbuy.com, where you could find sleeve boosters of Chilling Reign, right around MSRP, which is really, really cool, as there's still some availability out there, so you might still be able to pick some of these up right around MSRP. But for the most part, the booster packs are hovering right at MSRP anyways, if not a little bit lower. You can see in May of 2022, this was down to $2.70, and then just real slowly started growing. This is because availability started to diminish a little bit. People were still interested in cracking Chilling Reign, especially once we got to that October, November, December, when you saw all those alternate arts really start jumping. A lot of attention got put on Chilling Reign because there are so many different alternate arts in the set. If you start looking at some of the trainer gallery sets like Lost Origin, like Silver Tempest, you're only looking at about 4. If you look at Astral Radiance, I think there's only 6 alternate arts in that set, only about 6 or 7 in Brilliant Stars. But before that, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, there was a lot of different alternate arts that you could pull out of those sets, and then really started climbing December, January, February, March. Now it's sitting at $3.99 per booster pack, which is just below MSRP, also just off of its one-year high of $4 and a penny. If we look at the Blaziken VMAX, this is the chase card for a lot of people. This one is kind of the outlier when it comes to Chilling Reign cards, because it continues to climb in the upward direction. You can see how level it was for the majority of 2022 up until September, when it really started taking off. You can see right around $90 for July, August. That was the one-year low for Blaziken VMAX, and then it just skyrocketed right around September, jumped up over $150, slowed down a little bit, and then in February, March started taking off a little bit more. So it's sitting at $184.14, basically doubling in price over the past year. It's a beautiful looking card, very, very cool looking. One of my favorite alternate arts out of the entire Sword and Shield block, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of you as well, which is really why it's started taking off and kind of continued to take off compared to some of these other ones. If we look at the Galarian Moltres V, this one's still hovering right around a one-year low, but definitely slowed down quite a bit. You can see for the majority of 2022, it was actually trending downward up until July. Then it started moving up a little bit. It hit that one-year low in July of $89.20, jumped up to a little bit over $90, and then slowly started creeping down until October, and then shot up like a rocket, jumping over $120. But for the most part, over the past 6 months or so, it's only gained about 10% since then. So the majority of its damage it did in October of 2022, like what we saw from a lot of these other alternate arts, stayed relatively consistent now over the past 6 months or so. It's sitting at $135.72, which is about $7 off of its one-year high, which it hit in March of 2023. But for the most part, really just above $125, $130 for the past 6 months or so. It's kind of leveled off fairly well. The gold Snorlax, this is really the only gold card throughout the entirety of Sword and Shield that has decent value associated with it. If you start looking at some of the other gold Pokemon, like Inteleon, which is about $10, and the Survivor or Superior, which is only about $7. A lot of cheap gold cards that are in existence, except the Snorlax. The Snorlax is just one of the fan favorites. A lot of people like it. A lot of people like the look of it. A lot of people like Snorlax in general, and that's justifying this high price point for it. It was trending down for the majority of 2022, like what we just saw from that Galarian Moltres in September of 2022. It hit that one-year low of $70.10 before really starting to take off. It shot up to a one-year high in February of 2023 of $88.32, so it jumped over 20% 20% basically in the span of about 4 months or so, and then backed off a little bit. Now it's sitting at $82.25. So still a little bit closer to its 1-year high than its 1-year low, but starting to trend backwards, starting to go in the backwards direction. The Zeraora V, this one took off extremely hard in September of 2022. It jumped from basically $40 to about $70 overnight, but has really leveled off since then. You can see its 1-year low hit in June of 2022. That was $41.15. Stayed fairly consistent up until September. Then we saw it take off like what we saw from a lot of these other alternate arts, basically overnight, shooting up to about $65. Continued to climb a little bit to that 1-year high of $71.92, then backed off a little bit, sitting at $64.57 currently, but you're still looking at about 40% of a gain over the past year or so. It's really started to climb. The Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX is starting to go in the opposite direction. The majority of 2022, it was actually trending in the downward direction, and quite significantly as well. You can see in April of 2022 it was right around that $60 mark, and all of a sudden, boom, by September it was right at $44. So it lost over 20% in the span of about 3 months, and then like the other alternate arts just started shooting up again, and shooting up rapidly at the point where in February of 2023 it was all of a sudden back at a 1-year high of $63.81, and now it's lost a little bit. It's lost about $10, close to 20% over the past couple months. It's sitting at $53.41, so actually a little bit closer to its 1-year low than its 1-year high, but also trending in the downward direction. So definitely something you want to keep an eye on as we move forward. The Galarian Zapdos V, like what we saw from some of these other ones, starting to sink down until July of 2022. That was where it hit its 1-year low of $39.20. This is the Roadrunner alternate art. It looks really, really cool. Started to slowly grow until September of 2022. Then it shot up like what we saw from all of these other alternate arts that we've looked at. In December of 2022, came close to a 1-year high, dipped back a little bit, and then did hit a 1-year high in January of 2023, where it hit $65.26. Then it started backing off, sitting at $54.48 currently. So again, almost 20% that it's lost over the past couple months. Still not quite closer to its 1-year low than its 1-year high. It's got a little bit ways to go yet, but starting to creep back down to that $40, $45 level, sitting at $54 currently. The Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX doing the exact same thing as what we saw from the Shadow Rider, except not as significant. So really starting to drop in July of 2022. You can see in August it hit that 1-year low of $39.39, just like what we saw from that Zapdos that we just looked at, and then started slowly climbing. Has a few rapid bumps in November, and then again in January it hit that 1-year high of $53.69. Now it has backed off a little bit. Again, just not as significant as what we've seen from some of these other ones. It's lost about 10% over the past few months. It's sitting at $49.21 currently, but still some room that this card might fall a little bit more yet. If we look at the Galarian Articuno V, absolutely gorgeous card, very, very stunning. You can see its 1-year low in July of 2022, $38.04. Really isn't bad. Not a whole lot of growth in this card, but it did experience some rapid movement in October of 2022, where it really started shooting up, and then in December of 2022, beginning of January 2023, it hit that 1-year high of $53.17, but then it's lost a significant portion after that. It's dropped about 15% over the last couple of months, sitting at $46.21 currently. Still a little closer to its 1-year high than its 1-year low, but definitely trending in the opposite direction. The Galarian Rapidash V, this is absolutely beautiful, a very, very cool looking card, very consistent through the majority of 2022. You can see its 1-year low hit at the end of June in 2022. It was at $31.52. It stayed fairly consistent at that point up until October, where it started to take off a little bit. It passed $40, got up to about $45, stayed consistent at that point, and then in March it hit a 1-year high of $51.68, and then boom, over the last month it's lost 20% extremely fast, where the point it's right in between its 1-year high and 1-year low. So a card that gained about 30%, it's lost 20% of it back, sitting at $41.18 currently. The Slowking kind of doing the same thing. This one saw some rapid growth very quickly in October and then leveled off. You don't see an additional bump from the Galarian Slowking V. It's leveled off extremely well, and then it started going in the opposite direction. In June of 2022, hit that 1-year low of $21.23, basically doubled in price, where you see in December of 2022 that 1-year high of $41.72, and now it's lost almost 20% over the past few months. In December, January, February, March, it started going down relatively consistently, albeit much slower and less rapid than what we've seen some of these other declines and rises. It's sitting at $34.52 currently. The Psychic Energy, really all over the place. We've talked about Secret Rare Energies a lot and how they've been losing a lot of value. This one, not quite as much. The Chilling Reign Secret Rare Energy is still doing extremely well. They look really, really cool. They pop a little bit more. In October of 2022, this one shot up all the way to about $26, then saw a huge dip back down to about $16, up and down, up and down. It's currently sitting at $27.37, which is actually a one-year high for this card, but lots of big swings when it comes to the psychic energy there. The Blissey V saw some huge growth and then some giant drops to the point where it's basically sitting at a one-year low again. It's sitting at $23.21. Its one-year low it hit in April of 2022. That was at $21.96. So it's only about 5-6% above that point right now. Its one-year high was $35.33 in December, and it's lost 40% over the last 4 or 5 months or so. It's absolutely crazy. Blissey V definitely heading in the wrong direction. Shadow Rider Calyrex V kind of doing the same thing as what the other Calyrex cards have done. Relatively consistent. Hit that one-year low in June of 2022 at $15.63. Started shooting it up in October. In January, it hit a one-year high of $32.89. So it basically doubled in price. But now it's lost about 25-30% since then, where it's sitting at $25.71 currently. The Tornadus V, one of the outliers in the set, it's actually done a very, very good job. We're looking at 3 months of data. I think that the graph might have been messed up for this other one as well. But for the most part, fairly consistent over the past 3 months. Jumped up to $33.02 a couple weeks ago. That was a one-year low one-year high for this card. It's backed off a little bit, sitting at $31.78 currently. You can see in November of 2013, $26.95 is where it was. So not a whole lot of movement there, but we're only looking at 3 months of data, unfortunately, instead of a year. The Clara, we wanted to look at a couple of the one of the full art trainers from the set. This one actually did extremely well. Jumped up in March of 2023. You can see it hit $38.74, but it's lost a lot of that, almost 20% that it's given back, sitting at $33.04 currently. Still, you're looking at about a 50% hike over the past year. In August of 2022, it was at that one-year low of $22.03. Really kind of level for the most part over the past year, and then we just saw that blip in March of 2023. Of course, there was a lot of stuff going on with Japanese full arts, English full arts, so I think this is more of a price correction than anything else. So definitely dropping down into a better direction. The Fog Crystal is the last one that we're going to look at. This one, the victim of a lot of competitive play, unfortunately. You can see very, very consistent throughout the entirety of 2022. In December, it actually hit a one-year low of $8.88 before jumping up right away, probably because of use in a regional event or something like that that caused a lot of buyouts to occur. Jumped up to about $20 and then corrected itself very quickly, and then rapidly over the last couple months it shot up again. So it's sitting at $24.82 currently. That's a one-year high for this card. But Chilling Reign definitely is set to start paying a little bit more attention to. Definitely plan yourself, plan your budget, things like that. Don't overspend on cards or anything like that. Make sure that these align within your collection goals. But it's very interesting to kind of look at the market and how it's been performing over the past year, so that way you can make the best decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars. Hope you guys like the content. If you do, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment. Those things go really far for the algorithm, spreading the channel, things like that. But ultimately, thank you just for taking the time to listen. I really appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you in a couple days. Until next time, guys. Peace.